Hi, some people are still struggling with 11.6 and not, I sent out a video on how to construct something that is parallel lines that's through a certain point. So I'm not going to cover that, but I do want to construct a special quadrilateral. So this is, we're asked for, let's see here. Let's say I'm going to make this one side, and I'm going to call it A. And this pencil's kind of yuck, so let me see if I can find a different one. Oh, and let's see. Let's construct, so here's going to be B. Okay, here's A, here's B. The directions are going to say draw a quadrilateral ABYZ with AZ equal to little a and BY equal to big B, and that we have perpendicular lines. Okay, so we're going to say quadrilateral. Oops, it went too far to the side. ABYZ. ABYZ. And I want AZ to be parallel to BY. And I think the notation's probably what's tricking most people on a lot of these questions. And they say AZ is equal to little a, that's our length up here, and BY is equal to little b. Okay, so what do we know if we know this? We're looking for a quadrilateral that's four sides that's going to look where it has A, B, Y, Z, where AZ and BY are parallel. One's AZ, one's BY. So let's make, we'll just do the A on the bottom, and it'll look something like this, right? A on the top, A on the bottom, B on the top, and it'll look something like A, Z, B, Y. And this is going to be basically our conditions that we have. So it's going to look something like that. So a lot of these that you're constructing, there's not exactly one way, but some of them do, I guess. But this one is going to look something like this shape, just an idea, and now we have to construct it. But we know that A, Z, and BY will be parallel. So that's the first thing I want to look at, is I want to draw a line, and I want to do our rule with parallel. So I'm going to just draw a line at however long, and I want it to be the length of A. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to measure A using my compass. So I got to make mine bigger, and mine is, this one's my slow one. I left my other one at home. So there we go. And then I'm going to come down to my line I just drew, and I am going to mark off A's distance. Okay, so I now have the length AZ, and that's what AZ looks like. Now I want this other BY to be the length of B, and I want it to be parallel. So what I'm going to do next is draw just any random ray line, whatever you want to call it, up from A, and that's all I'm going to do, just construct that up. And what I want is this line up here to be parallel and be the length of B. So to be parallel, it has to have an angle similar. So let's just put any point, and that's how far away we want it to be. We're going to make that point B. I made that up. See, that's why I say there's a lot of room for wiggles. So a lot of people, I think, are looking for directions that are exact when there really isn't exact directions. All right, so from here, I want it to be parallel. So if I made this angle and this angle the same, we would have corresponding angles, and we would have parallel lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct a congruent angle that we have learned before. And how we did that is we just set our compass at any distance here and make an arc. I got to hold it with my other hand. And I'm going to move my paper. It's just easier that way. So there's my arc I made. Now I don't change it, and I go to B, See, I'm at B, and I'm going to make the same arc. Wow, those look the same, right? Now I'm going to measure from um, one end to the other on A, and then I'm going to go up to our other one, and I'm going to mark off where that was. So now I have the point that makes this angle the same. So I'm going to draw that line that makes it parallel with that angle the same. And on that line, I know that that line is going to be our line BY, or little b. So I got to go up and I want to make sure it's exactly that length of B. So I'm going to open this back up. Boop, boop, B. And I'm going to draw that arc here. And I'm going to make that dot. Now that's Y because that's the right length there. And then from there, here's my other side, and I'm done. Ta-da! So that is a special quadrilateral with specific sides and a parallel line. So basically you're using your parallel rules and you're measuring side lengths. So, and you know, you're kind of using your angle. You could be asked things like, so like this one says, the sides have lengths 2A and B. So they're like saying, well, what if one of them is 2A? Well, I made A really long, so that would be really big for me. And one of them has B, and you're constructing the same thing. It's the same thing. It just might change the sides. Or maybe half of A. So you have to find half of A in order to construct the next one. And so I'm looking through the homework that people are struggling with. And like problem 2, here's your point, here's your line, kind of ignore the rest, and you still construct that congruent angle just like we did here. And then it says stuff like the special quadrilateral, and it gives you you know, some various things to go with, like you're going to always have parallel lines because that's what we're dealing with on this. And this first one says AB is equal to M and CD is equal to 2M. Well, M can be any length you want. So I think you guys are struggling more with why there isn't more specifics. Like, where is M? Well, it tells you any length could be M. So I'm not going to see the same construction. I have to grade each of yours separate. Each of these are going to be different. So same idea. So just do your best when you're constructing these and leave all of your arcs, and they should be perfect, pretty. Yeah, and then here's the one that has 2A and 1B. Well, just draw A and B over here, whatever lengths you want A and B to be. I would use similar to what they gave us in the book, which was A a little longer than B, whatever, and keep going. So I feel like some people are making this harder than it is. So perpendicular. Oh, let's draw one of those, and then I have to go help a student. So let's draw one perpendicular. So what do we do for perpendicular? We start with a line. So just draw any line. Whoop. I want something perpendicular to this right here. Not bisector, just perpendicular. What I do if I want perpendicular is I could have a point. I don't have to, I guess. Maybe I want it perpendicular from point P. So what I would do is open my compass big enough that from point P it will arc and hit your line like this in 2 places. Now I wouldn't have had to draw the whole boat shape there, but you would draw it over both here. So I have this point here and this point here, and I'm going to use those, and I could change the compass if I want or leave them the same. It has to be bigger than halfway across, which it is. So I'm going to mark those. Whoop. Hopefully I have enough room to do it below, but we'll see. No. Oh, I do. Whew. All right. So what did I do if you couldn't see me? I am using my point here and marking an arc, my point here making an arc, and from this point to point P is exactly perpendicular. So all I did is go from point P to make the big arc, and then that gives me a distance to use to make a second point so that I can make the perpendicular. So perpendicular should be pretty easy. If you don't have point P and you're just making a perpendicular, you just need to make some kind of a dot that you want to go from. So you have to make your own P. I think most of them have some point that you want a perpendicular from, because that's the easiest. Even if it's in a triangle, you're still doing the same construction. From the point, you draw an arc. From both of those points, where they cross, you connect. Okay, so hopefully this helps some of you that are still struggling.